Should I represent myself in an IRS audit? Well, it depends, but not usually. First of all, the mistake that a lot of taxpayers make is they think that they can handle the audit because they think either A, they're smarter than the auditor, or B, the errors on the return aren't really that severe. The problem with that is a taxpayer who goes into a situation with an auditor, unless that taxpayer is a tax attorney or a CPA, is probably not going to have the same level of knowledge about how audits work as the auditor. So even if the taxpayer is familiar with the law, the taxpayer is generally not familiar with the way that audits work and the procedure with that. And so the risk is that even if the tax loss is minimal, the taxpayer could potentially put themselves into a damaging situation. So for example, if you're not really used to changing tires and you get a flat tire on the road, yes, you could change the tire yourself. There is the possibility that you'll do a reasonably good job in changing the tire and that everything will be okay. But there's also the propensity that you might make a mistake. If you believe that there is a mistake on your return, and if that mistake is significant, meaning it's over $5,000 in tax back to the government, then you may want to consider hiring a representative to help you. Because once you get into a situation where there's an audit and there are adjustments are being made, then the penalty conversation comes into play. And so the more adjustments that are made on the return, the more it increases the likelihood that the auditor is going to penalize the taxpayer. So a lot of the audits that we represent, because of the circumstances, we're not able to make much of an adjustment in terms of the tax. But where our firm makes a substantial difference is on the penalty portion. And even in situations where we have taxpayers who underreport millions of dollars in income, we're able to oftentimes explain that away or to negate criminal penalties or things like that. And that's a fairly extreme example. But generally speaking, in an audit, you're at a strategic advantage by hiring a representative who knows what they're doing. You're at a strategic advantage because we know what to look for. We can help you through the audit process. We can help you minimize the pain that you're going to go through because we know what the auditor will and will not accept. So there's monetary savings to that. There's also time savings. We make the audit process much more efficient. We move it along quickly because we know the auditors, we know how they think, we know how their interactions are with the manager, and we just know the process like the back of our hand because we do this all the time. So a lot of times there's value to hiring a tax attorney to take you through an audit. And in fact, the way that we do things around here, because I'm very business focused, we look at this from a cost-benefit perspective. And I won't have a taxpayer take our firm on as a representative unless we think that there's value to be provided. There's no sense in giving us a retainer and us not being able to do anything for you. So there needs to be clear value in what we're providing, and usually a good representative in an audit situation, particularly a field audit, if they're coming to your house or coming to your business, you definitely want a representative. But a good representative is worth his salt or her salt in a variety of situations. So I would discourage taxpayers generally from representing themselves in audits unless the issue is very simple and you think it can be resolved by a quick explanation.